Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well, hope you're all doing fantastic, and that you're all having a great day. For those of you looking to secure and keep your cryptocurrency safe, there are ledger links in the description below. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. I don't know. I'm not sure. What's always happening? Maybe it's just crypto, maybe it's just life. The last year or so has been interesting in that we have consistently seen a large number of cryptocurrency projects announce that they're better, stronger, cooler, faster, or more efficient than Bitcoin. This isn't new. This has been happening since around 2012, 2013. Every new chain at some point promised that they would be better or X, Y, and Z. This one, however, is spectacular because this made such popular news that I couldn't actually ignore it. And I was this close to not really paying attention to it. But then something really weird and bizarre actually happened. So it says, for those of you who missed it, and I'm sure many did, on the 1st of September, the Cardano blockchain completed the first phase of their Chang hard fork, signaling a new era of decentralized governance for the network. Yeah, the thing that we heard that they were going to do since, I believe, 1778 or something like that. It's been a while. It's been a couple of years. Finally happened, and we finally got it. I think they've been mentioning this for 2 or 3 years, somewhere around there, that it was just around the corner, just around the corner, just around the corner, and then it finally happened. Everyone, or rather, some people online were quite excited for it. There are a lot more people heavily into Cardano than I believed, especially when perusing through Twitter. But this was held up as one of the greatest events ever to happen within the cryptocurrency space. The upgrade is a significant achievement for Cardano, marking a pivotal step towards fulfilling its vision of a fully self-governing decentralized network. I believe that this upgrade was meant to be, an upgrade where basically the community has full governance over the chain as opposed to the people who created it. The move is also said to be a part as the first major blockchain to implement a token-based governance system. Fantastic. Charles Hoskinson, Cardano's founder, described this achievement as monumental, surpassing even Bitcoin, stating, "This dwarfs Bitcoin. It's unique, and books will be written about what has happened," end quote. I'm going to try and be nice. Hoskinson emphasized that Cardano's accomplishment is one of humans' most significant technical feats. Human beings, as long as we've been around, this apparently is one of the most significant things that we've ever done, because a distributed system operating across more than 100 countries seamlessly evolved into a decentralized entity, complete with its constitution, without central coordination. I can literally name 3 other chains that started out decentralized and have remained decentralized, but we don't have to go there. Hoskinson further commented, and I quote, "Cardano is now a governance virus that is living, self-replicating, and self-sustaining. It has intelligence and will grow and survive, and now has a will to survive and grow. Nothing can shut it down. Nothing can stop its growth," end quote. Then also, the article also says that the price fell down after that, but that's also neither here nor there. Recently, after this upgrade, a number of people and also founders began to go on these really weird tirades, basically declaring that Bitcoin was done for. People found old articles and also found other information about it, and also more recent articles, basically where people predicted that Cardano was going to surpass Bitcoin, and because of the upgrade that Bitcoin was basically done for. And I dare go even so far as to say I saw people online, and one person in particular, who said the word that Bitcoin is going to first letter D, second letter I, third letter E, because of Cardano. This, of course, started a bit of a weird clash, if you will, online, where people were basically figuring out that Cardano's market cap has dwindled comparative to where it was before. Also, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Cardano CEO, I don't see how Bitcoin survives. It's a religion, not an ecosystem. Hash rate will fall, and it will, that word, a slow, hot, Heath, but with a D. A lot of words I can't say because of the algorithm, and if you're still having a question about that, you don't know what an algorithm is or what YouTube actually does. So this was a hot topic of discussion. Not the store. Does that store still exist? I feel like it doesn't. I used to go to Hot Topic all the time. Anywho, yeah, this was major news because people were hanging on his words and were like, hey, Bitcoin's done for because Cardano had the upgrade that they said they were going to do multiple years ago, but they now have it now. As I stated before in other videos, I personally feel like Cardano is in a peculiar situation where the coin could do exceptionally well, but the last 2 years have kind of shone a light on people within the project who should more than likely probably step back or away from it at this point because it's becoming a little detrimental to the actual cause. This is why, last point, for those of you who don't know, why you've seen many other prominent figures from multiple other coins kind of back away in the last couple of years, because the market tends to move when they move and how they sway and all these other things. Cardano has is there a number lower than zero? A negative number of a chance of ever passing Bitcoin. The significance of Bitcoin, for those of you who've missed it, is that there are new entrants, new people coming into the Bitcoin space every day. And I'm sure someone's wagging their finger and going, but TMI, we have the same thing for Cardano. The number of new Cardano people, I don't know if it's per day or per week, is not even remotely close to Bitcoin. Cardano does not have 100,000 people per day nor per week entering its ecosystem. I think Cardano can do just well, but for those of you who didn't see it as well, there was a lot of infighting and a lot of higher ups within the crypto space have begun to kind of, I don't want to say turn on Hoskinson, but he says something and then they kind of react back. Hoskinson has a history of making YouTube videos where he's kind of just screaming at people. And I think a lot of these people have become a little like tired of that happening. So clapping back is more of a better term. But yes, Cardano had their upgrade. Wonderful. And then it was announced that Bitcoin was going to meet its demise because Cardano was so much better. If I had a Satoshi for every time I've heard that, I would probably have around 114 Satoshis because it's happened so many times over the years. There's no chance that Cardano is probably ever going to even enter the top 3 coins. Does anyone out there think that Cardano is going to become a top 3 coin? Like answer me like honestly. Anywho, that's the Bitcoin is going to disappear because people from Cardano said that it is because Cardano is governance, hard fork, Chang. Anywho, let's move on. Also in unnecessarily popular news, I almost said popcorn news, unnecessarily popcorn news. Cool. So remember that company Metaplanet? They're back in the news again. Metaplanet, for those of you who missed it, is a company in Japan who announced at the beginning of summer that they were going to start buying Bitcoin. Cool. Metaplanet has announced a strategic partnership with SBI Group, a partner of Ripple. Metaplanet highlighted that this partnership is part of a broader plan to work with top industry players in Japan. These stakeholders are crucial for advancing the company's Bitcoin strategy. A key benefit, tax efficiency, yada, yada, yada. Cool. Simon Garovich, that's not a Japanese name. That's really weird. The CEO of, anyway, it's a Japanese company. Simon Garovich, CEO of Metaplanet, shared that the partnership with SBI Group will initially focus on Bitcoin trading and custody. He stated, "It aligns with our vision of a modern financial services provider and adds flexibility to our corporate strategy, complementing our ongoing efforts in equity and debt financing," end quote. So this was almost as, this is not a joke, almost as popular as the Cardano news. Does anyone know why? One, Metaplanet, for some reason, people have kind of clung on to them as like the next MicroStrategy, which they're not. Metaplanet, I believe, has 380 Bitcoin, like 380, and MicroStrategy has almost 250,000 Bitcoin. But they're another publicly traded company who announced that they're getting into Bitcoin and buying up Bitcoin because the Japanese yen is terrible. If you haven't been looking at the price chart, it is bad. It's not even remotely kind of good. SBI Group, for those of you who are unaware, is a gigantic banking consortium who back in 2017 partnered with Ripple. I think even one of the higher-ups of SBI Group is actually one of the board members of Ripple, if I'm not mistaken. And SBI Group years ago basically announced that they were going to use XRP for everything and anything in all of their systems. They would be using it as a value transfer between banks and between companies, and they would also be trading it, and they made their own crypto exchange, which also listed XRP as the first coin. So this news was popular, or is popular, because of the connection between Metaplanet and Bitcoin and SBI and XRP. So people speculate that there must be something happening behind the scenes where they're trying to, I don't know. 360. And what's even more annoying is that people keep writing the number out like this. Metaplanet holds 360 Bitcoin, but people keep putting a decimal place and making it look like that they have 360,000. No, they own 360.36 Bitcoin, but people add the 8 because it looks more fantastical. Not that I'm knocking. Love isn't the word. I would love nothing more if I had 360 Bitcoin. However, it's not that I'm knocking their number. It's more of a people keep like really hyping this company up and I don't get it. Like, it's cool that they're buying, but they're not the only company to do so. People in crypto only, how do I say this? They shine a bright light on anything that's kind of like, the word's not confirmed. Anyway, people keep hyping up the fact that they have like Bitcoin when there are companies in governments who are holding like 5 and 6 figures worth of Bitcoin and they never make it into the news. I guess that's the point to be made. So cool. Let's see what happens. I assume nothing with XRP, if we can be completely honest with ourselves here. And also SBI Group also holds Bitcoin as well. Do people keep forgetting that every company is holding Bitcoin? I assume that's a forgotten story quite often. That's the SBI XRP Metaplanet Bitcoin news. And yeah, let's move on. I thought this was a joke. It's not. It's not. The guy who made Mount Gox, or one of the CEOs, Mark Karpeles, and then Karpeles, Karpeles, who knows? The former CEO of Mt. Gox is trying to launch a brand new cryptocurrency exchange called EllipX. What? ELLIPX in Europe this month. You know what a red flag is? I'm sure everyone uses the internet, and you also know what a red flag is just in general. Do you remember, for those of you who don't, I'm going to remind you, when FTX collapsed, Sam Bankman-Fried a couple days later announced that everything was fine, everything was okay, and that he could make a brand new FTX. You must remember that. Remember the people who were part of the Terra Luna project, not Terra Luna Classic, but the original Terra Luna that everyone was hyping up as much as Solana, thou shalt not forget. These people, years after, I think a year after Terra Luna collapsed, they came forward and said that they were going to make their own FTX, and they were going to call it GTX. You can Google all of this. There was another crypto exchange that also failed and took tons of people's money. And they also announced that they were trying to get funding to also make another new crypto exchange. I would not go 9,000 miles, kilometers, square inches, feet, light years within this crypto exchange. These people who previously before were allegedly, wink, accused of stealing, defrauding, losing money, presiding over a crypto exchange that might have collapsed, you name it. They're all trying to get back into the spotlight because they probably have nothing else to do. Can you imagine being worth several $100 million and your first priority is not to go live out your best life somewhere, but to make sure that you re-enter the space that people like, where people don't like you? This guy is not well liked, for those of you who didn't know. I can feel it. No, anyway. Like, imagine if Sam Bankman-Fried got out and then he was like, guys, I'm going to make a new exchange and it's going to be called Sammy Boy X.0 and you're all going to love it. If any of you even got remotely close to that, I would make sure that you couldn't find my YouTube channel anymore because you haven't learned anything. This was big news. This was actually quite big news because these people don't know what else to do with themselves. And people were actually trying to hype this up. I'm not sure if it was like paid, what do you call it? Paid whatever on these news articles. But yeah, understand that we already have around 4 or 5 mega crypto exchanges that are, have been around for nearly a decade. They're established. They're FDIC insured. You can get your money back. And also, don't forget, I mentioned this before about a couple of months ago. A lot of people keep having crypto exchange questions for me. I don't know what that's about. I'm not a crypto exchange. However, what you can do is contact them yourself. I don't know why people are so afraid of contacting their bank or their own crypto exchange. They're holding your money, right? You have a right to go ask them questions. So feel free to do so. Figure out what the heck is going on. If you have any questions about anything, go ask them. Yeah. The guy the former CEO of Mt. Gox is trying to start a new exchange. Don't even think of, because if you have your money on Coinbase and you're looking for a new place, there's Kraken. If you have your stuff on Kraken and you're looking for a new place, dare I say there's Gemini, there's Binance, there's a whole bunch of other places. You don't need. What's wrong with these people? I can't imagine having can you imagine oh my gosh, these people are crazy. Okay, that's the Mt. Gox news. All right, let's move on. Also, in controversial news, people were annoyed with this. I don't know why. I'll tell you why, but I don't know why. The company issuing Tether has announced they will not be making their own blockchain. This is due to the current market situation and the competition in the blockchain sector as a whole. There is no point for Tether to make their own chain. Tether is better off on multiple chains. I think they're on 16 chains or something like that right now. You add an increased level of decentralization and power to Tether if it can't all disappear at once. If you have it across multiple chains, and let's say 2 of the chains disappear, aren't as popular, guess what? You have 14 other chains. People were annoyed. I'm not joking. People were annoyed and upset. It's because they wanted Tether to make a new coin, because people are greedy and don't understand market dynamics. Yes, you might remember years ago. This was years ago. One of the original, scaling solutions for Ethereum was something called Plasma. And Plasma was meant to be an upgrade, an update on top of Ethereum that would allow for more transactions. You know the whole spiel. People, you must remember, one day at a conference, Vitalik Buterin was on stage. He said this. He said this afterwards. And he said he was so confused. He was on stage discussing what Plasma was and how much better Ethereum was going to get. And he said the moment he got off of stage, all these people rushed him. They were shaking his hand and, how are you? You're amazing. Blah, 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 blah. And he said their number one question was, how do I buy this Plasma coin? And he said, what? They said, Plasma. You were talking about Plasma. When's that coin coming out? He said, no, Plasma's an upgrade. And he said he could tell on their faces that they were confused because these people are only in it for the money and decentralization means nothing to them. The idea was that, why isn't Tether making their own blockchain? Because people expected them to make their own blockchain and to make a coin connected with it that's not a stable coin that they could benefit from it. People want to get in as quick as possible. We don't need extra chains. What Tether is doing is actually quite significant in that they're using other decentralized chains that will continue to grow and flourish forever. If you have and are minting Tether on Bitcoin and on Ethereum and all these other chains, the longer they last, the longer Tether lasts. If Tether had their own chain, one chain where all the Tether was issued, you know who would come knocking at that door? It's 3 letters, and it's the S, the E, and the C, and probably a bunch of other letters that we're also not thinking of as well. They don't have to do it. They're already the leader in the space. Paulo Ardoino, the CEO of Tether, said in an interview with Bloomberg News about the company's decision to focus on the importance of the company, Ardoino went so far as to say that adding a new chain might not be beneficial, even though Tether has technical means to do so, because the blockchain space is already full. A leader in this space with a brain is so rare, it's crazy. So golf clap for him. Golf clap. He said, and I quote, we are very good in technology, but I think blockchains will become almost a commodity in the future. Yeah, this was also very popular news because people could not conceptualize that Tether doesn't have to and doesn't currently want to create their own chain. Good job, Tether. I don't know any of these people, but they're doing an exceptionally good job after all the, I don't care for the term FUD, since all the mud has been slung their way since 2017. Jeez Louise, people, get a grip. Like, you don't need a new blockchain every single day. That's why people keep ending up broke, because they don't pay attention to anything that's well and established. Everyone keeps looking for the brand new thing, losing money from, and they go, why I'm so broke? I don't understand. It's because you keep throwing your money into crap. Hello, I'm not understanding. Anywho, that's the Tether news. Whoa, revolutionary. Actually leaving things the way that they are and producing more coins on decentralized chains. I don't know, man. Sounds risky. Okay, let's move on. Whoa. Also in the news, CME Group Inc. is introducing a smaller and more affordable Bitcoin futures contract designed for retail investors. My oh my, how the times have changed. Back in the olden days, the cryptocurrency space was for me, you, for everyone. Fantastic, right? Yeah, it was awesome. The problem is that all these companies began to get into the space and they told us to our faces. For those of you who've forgotten, let me refresh your memory. They told us to our faces that we were not worth it, that the big money was in the institutional investors. A lot of you might remember back in good old 2018, 19, and 2020, you got to remember Coinbase. Coinbase announced that all of their new products were only for institutional investors. You know why they did that? It's because their analytics showed them and told them that there was going to be an avalanche tsunami of money. Oh my gosh, so much money, I can't take it. Like billions of dollars were going to flow into the space, and Coinbase was poising themselves for this event. It's just going to be them. The problem is in 2018, 2019, there was no bull run. We were in a bear market, so this money never entered into the space. Same exact thing happened with CME Group, who announced that they were going to be creating Bitcoin futures. Yay! But the problem is that Bitcoin futures were only created to crash the price of Bitcoin. Have you forgotten? Look up the article. Remember the former head of the CFTC? He said the only reason why we initially got Bitcoin futures was to bring the Bitcoin market down. You can Google it. You can find it in like 4.5 seconds. So the problem is that we had a bunch of very evil institutions who moved into the space quickly just to shut down Bitcoin's price from rising any higher in 2017, because a number of governments, we found out, believed that Bitcoin was actually going to go to 30 or 40,000 and that might actually shake a lot of faith in fiat currencies. So once all that hubbub was kind of ended, remember all the news that we used to get before? Remember every Friday, if the Bitcoin futures were ending in the news, this isn't a joke, every Friday we had news that Bitcoin was going to fall because the Bitcoin futures had lower numbers. And for those of you who also aren't, paying attention, a lot of the reason why we've been going down in price the last couple of weeks and months was actually because of institutions reflowing back into futures and shorting the future price of Bitcoin. And this was making it go lower. That's why it was such a conundrum when prices were going lower, but the inflows to the ETFs kept on increasing. They're manipulating the market to buy as much Bitcoin as they can at lower prices, while retail investors don't pay attention. The other part is that A, retail investors don't want Bitcoin futures. B, the majority of people getting into crypto actually want physical Bitcoin. And C, they're doing this because their actual volume for Bitcoin futures is actually lowering so much that these companies aren't making money anymore. So remember the part where I told you that we were shunned and pushed to the side and called like garbage because we didn't have as much money as everyone else? Well, guess what? We're not garbage anymore because now they want our money. According to a Bloomberg report, the Bitcoin Friday futures contract will be priced at 1/50th of a Bitcoin, offering an accessible way for investors to trade crypto pending regulatory approval. The new product is expected to launch on the 30th of September. These people only want us to make money. And even more so, futures are literal garbage. They're all in cash. They're not in Bitcoin. And people who have Bitcoin futures have only been shorting our prices. Only been shorting our prices, making sure that our prices go down. Fantastic, right? It's really, I personally find it funny. All of these companies who years ago, who would not give us the time of year, not the time of day, they didn't even look in our direction. Now there's so many things. You might have noticed all these new things being made for retail investors and these like mini Bitcoin ETFs and these mini Ethereum ETFs. And we have a new fund and now it's open for retail investors. Some words I want to say, but I can't say. So I will just say, kiss my grits. I think that's probably the nicest way of putting it. Yeah. The CME group has realized that not many people want their products. They're trying to get more money, so they're trying to get retail to do it. Yeah. I think that is going to do it for this video. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.